Hello there. This is Mark, and I am going to walk you through the landscape lighting situation here because it's complicated, somewhat amateurish, because I did most of it, but it works. And I just need to sort of show you where all of the different controllers are for all the different zones, because there are many. All right, we're going to start here. This is a switch on the inside of the house. It's on a timer. And it is set up so that the time that the lights turn on and off are adjusted according to what time of year it is. So, in the winter, the lights may come on at 5 o'clock. In the summer, they may come on at 9 o'clock. Right now, it's set up to work, and it's not the easiest thing to program. So hopefully you don't have to reprogram it. If you do, you're just going to have to go through a trial and error like I did, because I don't have any instructions. This switch turns on the lights that are out here on the porch, right? These come on with that timer, and some of the lights out front on the other side of this gate in the front yard, some of those come on with that timer. Next we have this photoelectric timer, which is to the left of the front gate. Here we are. So the timer's here. It is light sensitive. You can set it to stay on for 4 hours, 6 hours, or 8 hours. I think I turned it on 6 hours in the winter and 4 hours in the summer. And it comes on when it gets dark, and then it goes off whenever you tell it to go off. And that turns on the LED lights on this tree and all of the lights in the front courtyard area. Okay, by the pool equipment, we have another photoelectric timer. As you can see, I've got it set to turn off after 6 hours after it gets dark. And again, you could adjust it to 4 or 8. This controls all of the lights outside the wall, the trees that are along Tatum, and I've got one wire that uplights one of the big palm trees in the front of the house. So that's for that section. This isn't a landscape light, but it is the light for the playground, or the sport court, I should say. And I don't know if the agents showed you this, but this is a high quality industrial light that it takes a little while to go to full brightness, but it really lights up this area well. And you would not be able to install that today, so you're kind of grandfathered in. Okay, so this is another section of landscape lighting. This is on the back of the casita, and these light up all of the trees that run around the back of the sport court. And the way that this works is that, yes, it's another photoelectric timer, and again, you decide how many hours. Right now we have it at 6, so this is an outlet that's always on, and it goes to a landscape lighting controller, which is also always on. So the power to the lights is dictated by this timer. So don't change any of the settings here. This is the only place you can change things. This is on the wall to the rear. Actually, it's on the side of the casita. And again, it's always powered here. And this is the controller. And again, we got it at 6 hours. And this sends electricity both up there, which lights up that tree at night, and this green extension cord goes over to this power thing, which sends a signal to the various landscape lights in this area. And I have to be honest with you, I think some of them have been kicked loose, so they don't all come on right now, but it's sort of just a matter of tracing the wires and figuring out which ones have been disconnected. In the garage, we have another timed switch, which is similar to the first one I showed you in the foyer area. And this controls the lights on the outside of the garage. And again, they come on at dark and they go off after a certain amount of time, and it changes depending upon the time of year. The code to the smart lock on the casita is on the door in the kitchen that goes to the rear eating area, code 4829. There's some really nice lights in the ceiling of the eating area, and Not so interesting during the day, but at night they're nice. And they are controlled by this switch right here. I put up this outdoor TV, and I also put up this cover, which has effectively kept it dry for all these years. So it seems to be working. These speakers are no longer connected to the system. They're just there. The barbecue grill is fueled by natural gas, so you don't have to change the propane tank every several months. Okay, the fountain. The fountain is powered, this white cord goes underground to the fountain, and when it's getting power, the pump is on. This is a timer, and I had it set up so that it came on at 9 a.m. and went off at 11 p.m., but we may have had a power outage and it turned it off, or it turned it to a wrong timing cycle. So I'm bypassing it, so the fountain is always getting power now. You may either want to reprogram the timer, or I suggest you get a remote control switch that will run between the power, which is the green thing here, and the pool pump. And then with the remote control, you can sit on the porch and turn it on and off as necessary. You know, we had this as an Airbnb, so I just had it running on a timer, but if you live here, you may want to simply have the ability to turn it on and off while you're sitting over there. All right, a little bit more on the fountain. Underneath at the bottom here, there's a little door. You're not probably going to be able to see it until I pull it out. Inside that compartment is the actual pump. And now and then, some leaves will get in there and they'll block the inlet area, and so the flow goes way down from where it is. So every now and then you got to take that little door off, reach your hand in, pull any leaves that have stuck to the filter, and you'll get a full flow again. This pump is supposed to not burn out if you run out of water here. I'm not so sure that's the case. There are 2 extra pool pumps on the shelf in the garage. This is the switch that turns on and off the pool light. It's photoelectric, so it comes on when it gets dark, it turns off when it gets light. This is the heat pump for the pool. It's not possible to get it into the 80s in the winter because it just gets too cold at night, and I think every pool pump guy will tell you that. But it does the best it can. In order to maximize the heat, you do not want the waterfall on. So we turn the waterfall off because when the waterfall's on, all that warm water gets exposed to the cold air and cools it off. So keep the waterfall off in the winter if you want to get maximum pool heat. This fireplace or fire pit underneath the gazebo is propane tank fed, so every now and then you're going to have to change the propane tank if you use this. Both garage doors have a system where after 10 minutes the door closes automatically, and you can change the length of time it stays open, 1, 5, 10. I've got it set on 10 minutes. And if you're in the garage or you're going in and out and you don't want it to close automatically, you push this hold button and it'll stay open indefinitely. I'm not going to show you the one in the other garage, but it's the same concept. This is the water softener system. I really don't know much about it. I don't really pay attention to it, but we have somebody who comes and fills the salt every now and then, and I'll give you that contact information because it's very, very reasonably priced and you don't have to worry about it. The previous owner installed this water purification system, and it's these 3 filters. And to be quite honest, they probably are due for, we don't even use it. So it's here, but if you want to use it, you're going to probably have to change the filters and figure out how to make it work. We do use, we don't use it because these Sub-Zeros have got a water dispenser, which I think is filtered. So that's good enough for us. This is our almost brand new $9,000 water heater. It's a sort of a new concept. It's not a big tank in there. It's cold water runs in and it runs through various lines, and those lines are surrounded by hot water. So it's kind of like an on-demand, but not exactly. We couldn't do an on-demand here because we don't have electricity out here, and you need, we don't have natural gas out here, and you need natural gas to do a tankless. So we sort of did a hybrid, an electric tankless kind of thing, and I think it's pretty good. But it takes a long time for hot water to get to various taps in this house. At my home in California, we have a device, and I think it goes on the hot, I don't know which one of these is, this must be hot. It connects here somewhere, and it's an electric pump, and it sends the hot water to various locations much faster than it does without. And again, we didn't live here, so it wasn't that important. But if we did live here, it would be one of the first things I do because it takes a long time for the hot water to reach the taps, especially the shower upstairs. The light in the forward bedroom downstairs is activated not by the switch, but by this. You can do, I think, different colors and different shades. But you know, we had bunk beds in here until very recently, and we couldn't put a ceiling fan in because it would have been dangerous for the upper bunks. But I'm going to recommend that you replace this fixture with a ceiling fan. I mean, it just helps cut down on the air conditioning bill in the summer when you can use fans to help with that cooling process. The big garage code is 1865. And the small garage code is 2448. Ta-da!